Shall I start? A very good morning to all of you and welcome to the session, the Hindu Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. Let us start the session with the snippets. The first one. Nayab Saini takes oath as Haryana CM. We got this word yesterday also. Oath means what? Pledge, promise. It goes with, at the time of swearing in ceremony, usually CM, ministers, they take the oath. Why are tomato prices increasing? All simple words, nothing to learn. Chief Justice of India proposes Justice Khanna as successor. That means present Chief Justice, after his tenure, Mr. Khanna is going to be the Chief Justice of Supreme Court, his successor. What is the opposite of successor? Predecessor. Before predecessor, after successor. Financial feasibility is a core issue. A modified policy may be more feasible. Here we have two words. Good morning to all of you. We have two words. One is feasible. Feasible means what? Possible. Usually a particular project, someone comes up with a project, we ask the question, is it a feasible project? Is it possible? That is the meaning. And what is the other word? Core. Core issue means the most important issue. Usually I tell students when we talk about our abilities or skills, we say our core skill is something, means the most important skill. For that, we also use the word competency. Core competency means the main skill you have or a company has. Henry and O'Rourke skittle out India for 46. Skittle out is a game in England. And it is here, it does not go with that. Here it means knock down, means to make a devastating impact. Entire team 46 all out means it is in a way knocking down the team. That's what it means. Based on the context, it changes. Do remember. What is the main headline? SC upholds. Uphold means to support. Section 6A of Citizenship Act as valid. Valid. Legally valid means core competency, exactly. It is acceptable. What is opposite? To make something null and void. Null and void means not valid. Valid opposite, invalid. But there is one idiomatic expression. What is that? Null and void. That is an important one. Yes, Murthy, very good. Bomb hoax cases, offenders may be put on no-fly list. Hoax, there is one word here. Hoax means you make a call to a police station and you say there's a bomb at some place. That is not real, a fake call. And we can also use the expression a prank call. And someone makes a call and says there's a bomb in railway station or airport. And when the bomb squad goes there, they don't find a bomb. Then we say it was a hoax. Have you got the meaning? Important word. And based on that, offenders may be put on no-fly list. Fortified rice safe for consumption, says Union government. Fortify means to strengthen, to make something strong. Fortified rice, strong rice in this context, you have to take it that way. And consumption, consume, the verb form, consumption, it is the adjective, noun. Consume is a verb, consumption, noun. But when you talk about this, when you think of this, there are two types of learners, as I said. Passive learners, active learners. A passive learner reads that and goes to the next item. An active learner, a smart learner, the moment he sees the word consumption, may think of two words. One is edible. What is the meaning of the word edible? Many of you may know. And there's another word a smart learner may recollect. What is that? Portable. Edible means eatable. Very good, Rajeshri and Jagdish also. Portable means, good. Water you can consume. We use the word portable. Portable means you can carry from one place to another place. But here there is no R, letter R is not there. Portable means water that can be consumed. You can have something, eat something, then we use the word edible. A smart learner recollects these two. And also, going one step above, a smart learner may recollect words related to food. Let me give a few words. If you take the first one, imagine the food is fresh. Simple word, fresh. What is opposite of fresh? Stale. Fresh food, stale food. And also when we talk about food, we use the word rotten. And also no food for a few days, then what happens? You starve. Starving. But intentionally you don't have food for one day. That is known as fasting. Fasting, fast. And here we have got words like edible and also portable. All related words. And also you have to think of a word like appetite. Appetite means what? The feeling of hunger. That is known as appetite. Have you guys got it? Delicious, sumptuous. Very good. Who is this? Jagdish. I appreciate. And we have a picture. It is like juxtaposed, paradoxical, ironical. What is ironical here? You see in the picture vehicles, huge trucks. At the same time, you see a herd of cattle with a typical village man. That those two are like contrasting. Contrasting, we can use words like paradoxical, ironical. And what is it? What does it say? Holding the reins. We have one important word here, reins. Reins. Imagine you want to control a horse. You have to use reins. Their reins means leather straps used to control a horse. That is one meaning. The other meaning of rein singular, to control something, to have the power and authority. Different meaning altogether. And what does it say? Holding the reins means the controlling power. A man from Rajasthan leads his herd of cattle to the outskirts of Delhi to graze on Thursday. There are three words, herd. Herd is a collective noun. I have said many a time, collective nouns may take singular verb, may take plural verb, based on the context, but usually take a singular verb. But if the sentence talks about division, they take a plural verb. That you have to recollect. And here, outskirts, important from the exam point of view. What is the reason? People say in the outskirts. That is wrong. We have to say on the outskirts. What is the preposition? On the outskirts. And grazing. If you take these animals, herbivorous animals, they eat grass. That is known as grazing, grazing in the field. What are the collective nouns? Cattle, clergy, gentry, poultry. Wonderful. I appreciate. Who is this? Art world. Highly appreciable. Toll in Bihar, Hooch tragedy touches 25. We have two words here. Hooch is country liquor. You can use words like country liquor, Iraq, adulterated liquor. Adulterated means what? Impure, made impure. Adulterate, an important word. What does it mean? It means to make something impure. And here, toll, usually it goes with accidents. What is a death toll? Means a number. It has other meanings as well. Top Hamas leader Sinwar killed in Gaza, says Israeli military. Almost all the words are simple words. Let us go to the next one. India, Pakistan should move on from past. Move away, move on. You can use Nawaz Sharif. So India, Pakistan should move on from past. Means what? They have to keep past behind and they have to think of future and think of better relations. It has a positive connotation, a positive message. Actor Tamanna quizzed by Enforcement Directorate in money laundering case. We have got this many a time. What is the meaning of money laundering? Money launder means you get money illegally, but through some channels you try to make it legal. That is known as money laundering. Here you have to think of words like hawala market, suitcase companies, all these. They are not real, they are used for money laundering. SP says a seat sharing fixed with Congress for by-election. Not aware, says Ajay Rai. Not aware means not, I don't know something, then I say I'm not aware of that. Simple word, but you have to know the pattern. Haryana Congress leader Ajay Yadav resigns from party. All political news, but there's one important one here. Teen apprehended on charge of selling porn videos online. Apprehended, an important word. In this context, apprehended means arrested. The word apprehend has 2 or 3 meanings, but in this context it means what? Arrested. Received a certificate for emergency, says Kangana. Soren marks 100 days of second stint, an important word, as CM with a swipe at BJP. Here with a swipe means you swipe your card, that is a different meaning. Something like with some sort of criticism against the BJP party. And stint, imagine there is a minister or the CM, his term is called a stint. During his stint, he brought about many changes. Means what? During his term, he brought about many changes. 2 accused in Barrage murder case suffer gunshot wounds in encounter with police. Simple words. Last page for enrichment. Tamil Nadu police files a status report on cases against Isha Foundation in Supreme Court. A case has been going on related to or against Isha Foundation. So it talks about that. Morbi Bridge tragedy. Gujarat High Court rejects demand for CBI probe. Some tragedy related to a bridge. 135 people lost their lives when a suspension bridge on Machuchu River collapsed in 2022. Jammu and Kashmir High Court to hear plea against Lieutenant Governor's power to nominate 5 MLAs. Madrasa Board plans to introduce Sanskrit. So all these are simple terms. Now let us go to today's editorial. Today's editorial, at the outset, I would like to tell a little complicated. It goes with a legal context, it goes with technology, and not easy to comprehend, not at all easy to understand or comprehend. And it's a lengthy one too. You have to listen very carefully to understand today's editorial. But before we do that, let us ask the question, what is enrichment from today's session? You improve your comprehension skill, vocabulary, grammar consolidation, effective English, mini mocks, a writing skill, vocabulary consolidation. What the words you got yesterday. Not too many words, but a few words, and they are important. Murli, yes. Stint means a term. First one, a legal term, injunction, part of speech noun. A legal order that compels or restrains a particular action. Imagine there's a legal order that prevents me from doing something, that restrains me from doing something. Then I use a word, this injunction, an important word. Example, the court issued an injunction preventing the company from proceeding with the merger. Imagine some company wants to go in for merger, then there's a court injunction, then the company cannot do that. They are stopped, in a way stopping someone from doing something. Synonyms, order, mandate, ruling, directive, command. but actually it goes with legal. Better you remember injunction, how to remember a legal order. Antonyms: permission, allowance, authorization. Simple words. Juncture. I use this quite often. At this juncture, it's a standard phrase. What is it? At this juncture. You have to learn the phrases as well. At this juncture means at this point. At this juncture, it is important to do something. Means at this point, at this crucial point. Juncture, part of speech noun, a particular point in time, especially one, made critical by a concurrence of circumstances. Many circumstances, many things happen, many incidents happen. Then you reach a point where you have to do something. Then we say, at this juncture, we have to do something. Look at the example. At this usually takes the adjective crucial, vital. At this vital juncture, at this crucial juncture, at this important juncture. At this crucial juncture, the team must decide whether to continue the project or abandon it. Imagine there's a particular point, the team has to decide whether to continue or to abandon, stop or leave. But there's one important word you have to know, abort. Have you heard of this? It goes with the word mission. Here it talks about a project, but I don't know how many of you have seen James Bond movies. Old James Bond movies, they would use the expression mission aborted. Abort the mission means stop the mission immediately. Exactly. Who is this? Pravalika. Very good. I appreciate. A standard expression, mission aborted. James Bond movies. Synonyms: moment, point, stage, phase, turning point. Continuity, disconnection. Simple words. You must have noticed synonyms, sometimes you come across new words worth spending time and worth remembering. But usually antonyms, we come across simple words, rather easy. Reveal, we have got many a time, part of speech verb, to make something known or visible that was previously hidden or unknown. The investigation revealed that the company had been involved in fraudulent activities. Reveal, many of our students know the synonyms. Reveal, disclose, divulge, unveil, make public. All these words you have to have at your fingertips. The investigation revealed means made public that the company had been involved in fraudulent activities. Fraud, something that is not legal. Synonyms: disclose, expose, unveil, uncover, show. Antonyms: conceal, hide, suppress, cover, withhold. Hefty. Hefty goes with size, amount, price, usual combinations. Large, heavy, or considerable in size, amount, or degree. Huge in size, heavy amount, then we use hefty. Look at the example. The restaurant was fined a heavy sum, huge sum for violating health regulations. That means for not maintaining perhaps hygienic conditions. If a particular restaurant does not maintain hygienic conditions, hygienic means what? Hygiene, neat and clean, then the restaurant will be fined, and hefty sum means huge sum as a fine or penalty. Synonyms: large, substantial, significant, considerable, weighty. I use this quite often. I always tell students, bank exams or SSC, along with whatever source you have to learn, I'm talking about only English, whatever source you have, grammar, imagine you go to some institute, they teach. Along with that, if you spend 1 year, not more than 60 minutes every day on the Hindu paper, 9 months to 1 year, then you can easily get 2 or 3 jobs in 1 year. That makes a lot of difference. And based on this, I tell students, if you read the Hindu paper every day for 6 minutes, you can see substantial improvement. What is the combination I have used? Substantial improvement. Opposite, small, light, insignificant, minor, trivial. Stunted. I think I forgot to delete this. Let us ask the question, what is this editorial about? This editorial discusses a recent US District Court injunction against Google, which forces a tech giant, an important word, I have told. Generally, people make a mistake because of the pronunciation. It is not this one, giant. Though we pronounce that way, what is the spelling? GIANT. They have given in competitive exams many a time because it goes with common errors. Tech giant to open its Android platform to third-party app stores and alternative payment systems. Entire editorial deals with Google company, its practices, especially two dimensions. One, allowing the platform, Android platform, for other app stores, third-party app stores, and the second dimension, allowing alternative payment systems. It's all about that in a nutshell. What is the tone? The tone is analytical and critical. Because Google does not allow other parties, third-party apps, in a way it results in monopolistic practice. Monopoly means what? One particular company takes a lion's share of the business, that is known as monopoly. Modern markets are not for monopolistic practices. Everyone should have a fair share to get the slice, the market. And this is what Google has been doing in a way, trying to have that monopoly. Now the court injunction has put a stop to that. Let us see what the stimulus is. Editorial stimulus, the end game. End game means what? Stopping something, putting an end to something. In this context, on the injunction against Google. But here you have the main idea. The US District Court injunction against Google could end its app dominance. 90% a company takes, that is nothing but monopoly. And here the court has tried to put a stop to that, bring it to an end. There is one model here, or helping verb, could. In English, we use may to express a possibility, but chances are more. Chances are more. And we use three helping verbs. One, might. Second, could. Third, should. Even these express possibility, but the chances are less. Chances are more, possibility chances are more, may. Possibility chances are less, might, could, should. Could end. There is a possibility, but the chances are less. And what? It's app dominance. And today we have two problems. The first problem, difficult to comprehend because of the context. Second, a lengthy editorial. How does it start? The recent injunction issued by US District Judge James Donato, which forces Google to open up its Android platform to third-party app stores and alternative payment options, marks a critical juncture in the ongoing legal battle or legal dispute between Alphabet subsidiary and Tencent-backed Epic Games. It is about a legal battle between two parties. One, Alphabet subsidiary. Second, Tencent-backed Epic Games. It says that this particular injunction, what does it do? It forces Google to open up its Android platform. Open up to what or for whom? To third-party app stores, one thing, and alternative payment options. All this marks a critical juncture. It marks an important juncture. It is like a milestone judgment in the ongoing legal dispute between these two. This antitrust lawsuit, which began in 2020, all this started way back in 2020. It has been going on for the last 4 years. began in 2020 after Google removed Epic's popular game Fortnite from. How did it start? Google removed Epic's popular game. What is that popular game Fortnite from the platform? That's how the problem started. The Play Store, from the Play Store, for violating its payment terms, has far-reaching implications for how the Android app ecosystem functions. It talks about the dispute, the bone of contention, or the apple of discord. What is the cause of dispute? Google removed from its Play Store Epic's popular game. What is that popular game? Fortnite. And that is the cause of dispute, means apple of discord or bone of contention. And this particular court order will have or has a far-reaching implications, an important expression. Here we can also use far-reaching consequences, far-reaching implications for how the Android app ecosystem functions. Based on that injunction, Android app ecosystem, we can see some changes. Epic, what exactly, now the question, why did Google remove Epic's popular game Fortnite? What is the reason behind? This sentence talks about the reason. Epic bypassed Google's rules by making users pay the publisher directly, triggering the battle. So what triggered the battle? What made Google remove Epic's popular game? Epic asked the subscribers to pay directly. Actually, they should go to the Google, but it asked those who bought to pay directly. That started the triggering the battle. Bypassed Google's rules by making users pay the publisher directly. Judge Donato's ruling set to take effect in November. Set to take effect in November means going to be active, come into existence in November. Orders Google to halt practices that have limited competition, such as paying companies to launch apps exclusively on its marketplace or pre-installing Google Play on new devices. This sentence talks about Google practices which are rather not acceptable, not fair. One is, the court says, orders Google to halt. Halt means what? Stop. Practices that have limited competition. If a particular company does not allow competition, it is nothing but unfair. Have limited competition, such as paying companies to launch apps exclusively on its marketplace or pre-installing Google Play on devices. An important word. DEVISCS is a verb form. Devise means to think of. But DEVICES is a noun. Device, what are the other words you have to think of? Gadget, appliances. Household gadgets, household appliances, household devices, electronic devices. That is a noun form. It also mandates. Mandatory means what? Compulsory. It also mandates Google to allow rival app stores to be featured on its Play Store and for app developers to show alternative payment systems. Court has told Google to allow third-party app developers, they should be featured on its Play Store, one thing. Rival app stores to be featured on its Play Store. And the second dimension, for app developers to show alternative payment systems. For 3 years, this injunction will reshape how Google operates its marketplace, creating space for increased competition in the Android ecosystem. It will take some time. How long does it take? 3 years. For 3 years, this injunction will reshape what? How Google is going to function. How Google operates its marketplace, creating space for increased competition. When Google allows rival app stores and developers show alternative payment systems, competition increases, obviously. Its marketplace, creating space for increased competition in the Android ecosystem. All this from the court and the reasons behind. Who is the one accused? Google. Now Google has to say something. It has to defend itself. Now, what is the stand taken by Google? The next two sentences talk about that. But Google argues that these changes pose risks to user privacy and security and could limit developers' ability to promote their apps. So, what is the stand taken by Google to defend? If this happens, the users may have risks related to privacy, one thing, and risks related to security, another thing. Not only that, developers could limit developers' ability to promote their apps. Not only the users, developers also may get affected because of the new regulations. However, the injunction does allow. Here some students wonder, they think it could have been the injunction allows Google. Why to write the injunction does allow Google? It is for emphasis. Imagine you like something casual, you say, I like it. You want to emphasize, you say, I do like it. The same way, she likes something very casual and she does like something emphatic. Patterns are different. When I say I like English, I'm very casual. I do like English, I'm trying to emphasize. Patterns are different, meaning is subtle difference, casual and emphatic. However, the injunction does allow Google to retain some control over security. After all this, one thing is crystal clear. What is it? Google still has control over security. But the ruling sends a clear message. This ruling, this court injunction sends a clear message. What is it? It is time for Google to change how it governs the Android app marketplace. It is time for Google to change how it governs the Android app marketplace. There is one important expression, but do remember it depends on the pattern. What is it? It is time. Exam point of view, this is very important. It is time, it is high time. When you use these clauses, the verb should be in the past form. It is time or it is high time you started your preparation. Usually people say, it is time you start your preparation. It is high time you start your preparation. Wrong. Here we have to say, the verb should be in the past form. It is time you started your preparation. It is high time you started your preparation. It is time you went there, not you go there. This is important from the exam point of view. You have to remember. That's all about the first part of the editorial, I suppose. Now let us go to the second part. The second part talks about the practices of Google, which are actually unfair practices. It talks about, the second part talks about that. Let us see what they are. At the core of the battle, core means the most important thing, the most important area. For that, I also use quite often the bottom line. What is the bottom line means? What is the most important thing? Here, at the core of the battle is Google tax. What is this Google tax? A 15% to 30% commission the company charges app developers for transactions made through apps from Play Store. Imagine there is a developer, app developer, and some transaction has been made through Google platform. Then that app developer has to pay between 15% and 30% as commission. For that, they have used the term Google tax, which is unfair, bringing in billions each year for Google. Imagine whenever there is a transaction, Google gets amount around the world, so many transactions. Google obviously gets billions of dollars, bringing in billions of dollars each year for Google. During the trial, it was revealed that Google had cut special deals with major developers. Now here there is a range. If at all there is a tax, if at all there is a commission, it has to be uniform. But what is the range here between 15% and 30%? And that is obviously unfair. To substantiate that, more information. During the trial, you have to recollect, trial, I have told many a time. Court case, trial. During the trial, it was revealed that Google had cut special deals with major developers. Had cut a deal means to have some sort of understanding. Not a major developer 30% commission. A major developer 15% commission. Imagine, is that fair? It is not at all fair. Google had cut special deals with major developers, including Spotify and Tinder owner Match Group, allowing them to pay lower commissions. Some companies have to pay more, some companies have to pay less. That is obviously unfair. This further fueled claims of unfair practices in the app marketplace. It has resulted in unfair practices in the marketplace, obviously. Judge Donato's injunction is about much more than just commissions. Donato, the judge, his injunction is more than these commissions. Something else is there. What else is there? It strikes at the heart of how tech giants use their platforms to maintain dominance. These tech giants of late they have been criticized because of monopolistic practices, and it touches those dimensions as well. It is about how it strikes at the heart of how tech giants use their platforms to maintain dominance. By enforcing its payment systems and restricting alternative options, Google has long held disproportionate power over app developers. Because of these two restrictions, Google had the advantage. It had more power, alternative options and payment systems. Google has long held disproportionate power over app developers. The ruling, if upheld, if supported, could dismantle this dominance. Dismantle, you take things apart, then we use the word dismantle. That is the impact. By mandating that Google open its platform to third-party app stores and payment systems, main idea is being reiterated. The court seeks to introduce a fairness to a market that has been controlled, present perfect passive voice, by a single player for too long. Who is that single player controlled the market for too long? Obviously, none other than Google. How does it end? For end consumers, the real impact could be felt in the form of lower costs for paid apps and in-app purchases. What is the benefit for consumers? Imagine if the commission part is not there, the app developers will charge less. That's how the consumer can get benefited. One more dimension is there. When developers are no longer subject to Google's hefty commissions, those savings could be passed down to users. If the company doesn't have to pay hefty commission to Google, in a way they are saving money. They can pass it on to consumers by bringing down the costs. Ultimately, this ruling could signal a shift toward more transparent and fairer business practices. So finally, ultimately, what could be the positive impact of this injunction? It results in more transparency and also fairer business practices in the tech industry, and push giants to reconsider how they operate in the global digital economy. All these tech giants, they have to reconsider, they have to contemplate and have to think of fair practices. That's how it is going to, that is what going to happen in the near future. That's all about today's editorial. At the outset, I said it is not that easy to comprehend. You got to read twice, thrice, only then you can comprehend. Based on this, try to answer the questions. First one, what was the central issue in the legal dispute between Google and Epic Games? Google's acquisition of Epic Games? No. Google's removal of Fortnite from the Play Store? That is a bone of contention or apple of discord. Very good. What does the term Google tax refer to in the editorial? A tax imposed by Google on app developers for using third-party payment systems. It's nothing but a commission, but they have named it tax, Google tax. What is this Google tax? Commission to be paid by to Google by the app developers. Commission Google charges developers for transactions made through the Play Store. Answer is here it is not this. Answer is B. Do remember. Next one. What significant change is a court ruling expected to bring to the Android app ecosystem? Exclusive use of Google Play Store? No. The elimination of all commissions? No. The introduction of third-party app stores and alternative payment systems. As I said, editorial is about two dimensions. One, allowing third-party app stores to be on the platform, Android platform. The other one, alternative payment systems to be provided. According to the editorial, what is the potential benefit for consumers following the court's ruling? Access to more free apps, lower cost paid for paid apps and in-app purchases. How do the developers, they don't have to pay the commission? Obviously, they can pass it on to the consumers. Then what happens? Lower cost for paid apps and in-app purchases. Answer is B. What concern does Google raise regarding the court's ruling? What was the response of Google based on the injunction? The ruling could lower profits for Google? No. The changes could pose a risk to user privacy and security. Google mentioned two risks. One goes with users' security, the other one goes with privacy. Yes, B is the answer. Now let us go to error location, no division. Read the sentence and try to spot the error. The board's decision has provided employees with the opportunity to acquire up to 100 shares by the company. Here we are talking about an opportunity for the employees to buy the shares of the company, not by the company. So where is the error? Here we cannot say shares by the company. We have to say employees got a chance to buy the shares of the company, 100 shares of the company. Wrong preposition. He had telephoned yesterday to ask how much of the youth who attend our classes would be interested in working for a textile company. Here the clue for you, the youth. No, this platform is only for English, Srinu. This is only, I explain only in English. Here I don't use bilingual. This is not the platform for you. But if you want to improve your English, watch for 1 week or 2 weeks. You will be able to understand. But here on this platform, I don't use Telugu. Here, youths. Based on that, we cannot say how much. We have to say how many. What is the right word here? How many, not how much youth, how many youth, how many youngsters. Very good. Sudeshna, many, not much. If the manufacturing sector continues to grow at the same rate for the next few months, I think it has a high growth rate this year. I always tell students, the moment you see the word if, you have to become alert and think of conditionals. Any conditional has two clauses, if clause, main clause. Here, if clause is in present tense, then there is a possibility it could be open conditional. What is the structure that goes with open conditional? If clause we use a present tense and the main clause we use a future tense. Based on that, we have a problem here. In the main clause, based on the context, you have to correct the main clause. I think it has is not correct. I think it will have. It will have is future tense. If clause in present tense, if the manufacturing sector continues, present tense. I think it will have a high growth rate, future tense. Open conditional, what is the pattern? If clause present tense, main clause future tense. Now let us go to idioms. Bark up the wrong tree. They have given many a time. Means to looking in the wrong place, accusing the wrong person. E is the answer. What is the answer? E. Looking in the wrong place, accusing the wrong person. Call it a day to declare the end of a task. A is the answer. Couch potato. Someone watches TV all the time, relaxing on sofa. Then we use this couch potato. What is the answer based on that? Obviously, a lazy person. Answer is B. Beat around the bush, beat about the bush. Either way, you can. Not touching the main point. Avoiding the main issue, we say, don't beat around the bush or don't beat about the bush. A dime a dozen, very common and no particular value. So, E, A, B, D, C, D. All the five correct, you should be happy. Lethargic, you can say. And writing skill, yesterday's editorial completely based on survey, a particular global hunger index. You should write about, I haven't brought intentionally because it is based on statistical data. But I gave you guys a broad framework. And using that framework, I hope you have written. Let us go to the last slide, vocab consolidation. Abject means a severe, abject poverty, severe poverty. And tout means to talk about something or try to say something, talk about something repeatedly with the intention of selling or highlighting. Then we say tout. Stark means clear, stark contrast. Promote, endorse, you can use those words also. Very good. Stunted means it goes with growth, no growth at all, then stunted growth. Retarded also you can say. Pertinent means relevant. A pertinent question means what? A relevant question. That's all for today. I hope you guys have got enriched. Have a nice day. And after the session, we'll provide the PDF. Try to access it. And to access the PDF, you have to join the Telegram group of SREEDHAR'S CCE. Do that and work on the PDF. Thank you. Hello, Andy. Meeda laptop? అక్కడ కూడా ఇక్కడ